How does it feel to generate a 7-figure business at your age?
The first year where I generated $1 million, a little over $1 million in revenue, I found myself blowing through it, right? I was partying, I was spending. The more money you make, the more money you'll have a tendency to spend. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep.
I think hard lesson as well, it's good thing. So this is how you can learn fast. I'm so proud of you, bro. You did like very amazing move in such an early age.
Thank you, bro. Getting married young has been one of the greatest decisions I've ever made.
I don't think we in competing world between agencies, we in competing world in like how can you support the industry?
Why does it need to be a win-lose when we can both win and find symbiotic ways to partner up and support each other? More creators making more content than ever before. Staying true to your brand, pushing out volume of content, and leveraging AI to enhance the whole process. We generally fear what we do not understand.
Hey guys, welcome to Serge Creator show, and I have an amazing guest today, my good friend Kawser, or CEO Kawser. So he has amazing agency, production and content creation agency. So today we are going to talk about it. I want to ask him a couple questions on how he achieved the success he has today within short period of time, and the most important one, in a young age. So you can learn a lot. Stay tuned right here. So Kawser, thank you so much for joining me today. So I really appreciate that you can spend some time with me.
Of course, Serge. Thanks for having me on your show, man. This is so exciting.
Awesome, that's great. So I have a couple questions for you, right? So just like I want to have like just a casual conversation and ask. So just kind of I want to extract the knowledge from your brain to put out there for people to learn from you if somebody want to start like creative agency or content creation or production, you know? So before we begin, tell me a little bit about yourself and like let's, of course I know you, but I want you to introduce to our audience about yourself.
Absolutely. What's going on, guys? My name is Kawser, known as CEO Kawser. I'm the founder and CEO of Beige. Our goal is to build the world's largest videography and photography marketplace, otherwise known as the Uber for videography and photography. Started Beige a couple years ago, been able to scale it up to being a multi-million-dollar production agency, now soon to be tech company. So yeah, excited to be here and share any knowledge that might help someone.
Awesome. You're like badass, bro. Badass. Thank you so much for the intro. So I have like I have some notes, guys, so I will be looking at my monitor just in case. So being a young entrepreneur, how do you stay consistent and don't get distracted?
Yeah. I'll start off with saying a big driving factor is my wife. I got married when I was 23, and that was one of the best decisions I've made, both my personal and business life. You know, having the right partner is a huge factor, I think, towards success. And if you haven't found that person yet, I think just being open to finding the right partner will help out a lot. Also knowing your whys, right? Having why factors. A lot of times you might feel motivated one day and then the next day you might not. But having the right why factors to serve as your compass to guide you and to keep you accountable, I think it's extremely important. You know, I think the right support system, having a clear vision for the life that you want, and then reverse engineering that to produce your outcomes. That's just a handful of quite a few things.
That's so awesome. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I have the feeling that I'm talking to like a wise man, like 55 to 60 years old.
Man.
How old are you?
I'm 25 now.
Okay, 25 years old. Okay, that's important. Okay, let's move on. So what inspired you to create your agency?
Yeah, so story goes, I wanted to produce a music video because, you know, I made this song about this traumatic incident that I had. And I was on Google trying to find like a production company in LA. And it was just such a difficult process because most of the production companies that I reached out to, I couldn't afford as an 18-year-old to produce a music video. And a lot of the freelancers, it was just difficult because, they were not available for their shoot or whatever it is. And so one of my friends at the time, his name is Mystery Skulls, he was signed to Warner Brothers. He ended up having a camera and he was like, hey bro, I'll shoot the video for you. Just go rent out the Lamborghini that you want and get your friends together. We'll shoot this video. And so I rented a Lamborghini. I got this U-Haul truck because I wanted some driving scenes, and hired a drone operator and just got this dope set together, and that was the first ever Beige project, and that was the birth of Beige. That was just, I was the first ever user for our service, so.
Want to finally be known as the expert in your city? Ready to build credibility with your audience? Hi, I'm Serge, the founder of Serge Creator Studios. We've helped professionals around the country get known and brand themselves through high-quality content. We know how to make your company known. We will grow your audience, increase your visibility online, and get your prospect to trust you before you even talk to them. Here's my offer to you. Book a 20-minute call with me for a no-pressure presentation. We will take care of your branding, video editing, graphic design, and do all posting for you. I'll show you how easy to brand yourself and your company through social media. Click below to schedule your 20-minute call with me and see how to take your company's success to the next level. I can't wait to see you there. You started your company at 18?
Yeah, I was super young.
Wow.
I unofficially started at 18. I would say I kind of went full time with it during the pandemic at 21, back in 2020. And so, yeah, man, from that point in LA, people just started hitting me up. I had friends reaching out to me saying, hey, Kawser, can you produce my music video? One of my friends asked me if I could shoot his wedding. And another friend asked me if I could do their commercial for their e-commerce brand. And I was like, I don't know how to use a camera, but I know someone that does. And so I started meeting more creatives and more videographers. And I just ended up being like the plug for content. And well, from there.
Wow, that's so awesome. And next question kind of leads based on this one, because you built some good foundation for the content creation, but of course, it's hard to do it by yourself. So how to find a good team for your business?
Yeah, I would say I started Beige with just a couple of my friends, I had some friends that I went to high school with and other friends that I met along the way that I just said, hey, can you guys come to the shoot with me and help out, And so I think really just surrounding yourself with a good support system, surrounding yourself with people that genuinely support you and the things that you're doing will take you very far, right? And really just finding those people is a matter of adding value. I was able to add value to my friends by giving them new experiences, giving them new connections and new perspectives. So yeah, that's how I really built my team, just started off with some friends, and then that kind of went down to other professionals, just trying to add value to them,
Exactly. So I believe what I've noticed as well when I'm observing you, how you grow your business and building a team, you actually had a lot of big group of real friends and who helped you, because I know that it's not easy to work with friends. Tell me a little bit what's your secret sauce? How you can work with friends and build something together?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's definitely not sustainable, or it wasn't for me. All the friends that I started working with when I first started the company, they all went their separate ways to do even greater things. But I think when you're just starting out and you need that extra push, just setting clear expectations, right? If there's something that you need a friend's help for, set clear expectations of what it is that you need them for. And then you also have to be clear with what you can do for them and what you can provide for them, right? And it's not selfish, of them to want to know that, but it's just, human beings respond to incentives, right? So if you are clear with what it is you need your friend's help for, and you have a clear incentive for them, then that's enough to help you get started, right? So that's exactly what I did. And I didn't expect my friends to stick around with me forever, but what I did do is I made the time that we spent doing business together very fun and meaningful. It didn't feel like work. It was just fun.
Yeah.
So we went from there.
I even remember sometime you came up to to our place in Hollywood, right? And then we did a presentation. There was a lot of your friends, and we had such a great time. So we shared some experience. We did a presentation, how to do content creation, whatever.
Testimonials. They gave testimonials.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
That was so fun.
Yeah.
And we were building the project Peace School. So we established partnership and kind of start working with it. And your friends came in and support us. That was so nice. And it's kind of like, this was my observation when I'm like, oh, Kawser can involve friends and like support them, support your vision.
That's absolutely. Great. And I think doing it in a selfless way, is important, because if you're just taking, then it can jeopardize that friendship, right? Because no one likes to feel used, right? But if you're honest with what you need from that friend, and you're like, hey, I can give you some money in the process, or I can give you this opportunity, or whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be money, but if you can add something of value, then I think you can definitely get your friends to help you with what it is you want to start.
Thank you so much for sharing this, because it's very important. Not many people can do it. Not many.
It's a journey.
I have another one. So how do you see the future of content creation in 2024?
Yeah, I mean, there's this whole generative AI craze, right? With GPT-4 and DALL-E and all these crazy developments in AI. But I think definitely learning how to leverage AI for enhanced content creation is important, but also really staying true to your message and your brand, right? Because that's not something that AI can really replicate. So, one of my personal goals this year is to really build upon my personal brand. And you do that through just being consistent, and I feel like you're seeing more output of content than ever before, but you're also seeing more creators making more content than ever before. So it's like the key important thing is staying true to your brand, pushing out volume of content, and leveraging AI to enhance the whole process.
Exactly. Do you scare AI?
No, I'm not scared of AI. I think it's quintessential. It's like learning how to use an iPhone or a MacBook 15, 20 years ago. It's no different today. I think everyone must learn how to harness the power of AI to advance their own initiatives and humanity's initiatives. And I think, we generally fear what we do not understand. And so it's important to educate ourselves about the things that we fear. And AI is just, one of those things.
Exactly. So I believe AI is just another tool. It's probably the same if we were riding horses and then we saw the car. Oh, wow, I scared the car.
Yeah. And sure, there are car accidents and catastrophes. And, there's been some spooky stories with AI too. But I think it's really important it's really important to be responsible with powerful tools like AI as well, right? And use it for good rather than harming someone, right? But AI is no different than a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house and hit that nail, or you can use it to hit somebody on the head. So it's up to you to be responsible.
Exactly. You got it right. It's just a tool, and that's the choice and how you will leverage it.
Yeah, 100%.
How you leverage this tool.
And there's so many cool AI tools, right? There's Opus, there's CapCut, there's so many great tools these days to empower creators and creatives, right? And help facilitate that process. So I think just learning how to use that stuff is going to help.
Exactly. And honestly, when I'm like, yes, we have some support with the AI as a tools, but we need still some human resource who will control these tools, because it's still complex. It's like, it's not like magic button that you click and everything happening, but you need still put things together and properly utilize it. And sometimes it requires even more time, because now that like other people use it, right? It's like more competition on the market, more people creating better content and etc. And now this tool available for others, and now how you will leverage these tools, right? You need to spend some time on it. It's not easy click magic button and that's it, right? You need to utilize that properly, right? 100%. So we need human for that. So yes. I don't think there's no scare, like fear about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just educating ourselves and, being open. Yeah.
Exactly. So how does it feel to generate a 7-figure business at your age? 7 figures per year.
Yeah.
So you have multiple 7 figures. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's not as glamorous as it seems, right? Because early on you realize your lifestyle catches up to you, right? Especially someone as myself, I dropped out of Santa Monica College when I was 19. And so I didn't really have a formal education. And although I always listened to audiobooks and educated myself by watching YouTube videos and following other entrepreneurs, I didn't really have a financial background. So 2021 was actually like the first year where I generated $1 million, a little over $1 million in revenue. And I found myself blowing through it all, right? I was partying, I was spending thousands of dollars, on things that, I now looking back were silly, and dumb. So, the more money you make, the more money you'll have a tendency to spend. I mean, you just bought a $180,000 car, right?
This is exactly how it's happening.
You know what I mean? But it's also important to be financially responsible and understand the value of money as a tool, just like AI. So yeah, I've definitely been able to offer a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. I have an amazing team that I'm also able to take care of. But at the same time, I think I've learned some valuable lessons of money. And, now I'm, definitely a lot more resourceful with money, right? So it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. If you can make $1 million, but you can spend $1.1 million the same year and then be $100,000 in debt. And so it really is important to be wise with where you're spending your money and be resourceful.
Exactly. That's a very good point. So more money you make, more money you spend, more problem you have.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? I think money is also a tool to not solve your problems and your issues, but to help facilitate additional resources towards those resources, right? Let's say you get sued by someone. If you have money, you can afford to hire that tool or that resource. You can hire a lawyer to defend you and to support you through that process. But if you don't have money and you get sued, well, I guess that's another problem, right? So it's kind of like you really have to understand money as a tool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as well from other side, so yes, when you're making money, you start spending, and then you think you see like Instagram, like flashy cars, like watches, all this stuff. So for me it was as well like a little bit of problem as well, because I saw people have it, right, and I started buying this as well, and I see that like it's not a leverage, it's just like a kind of accessory or something, but and then when people like spending more and more and more in it, they like end up in the debt as well. Yeah. So you have to use money as and when you like making more money, you have way more danger as well to spend more money and get more problems because of this. So like that it would be harder to pay for it as well.
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of people don't realize that until it's too late. Because just because you make $1 million one year doesn't mean you're going to make that the next couple of years. There's other things that factor in. There might be unexpected emergencies. There might be other things that you might fall into. So if I could go back and give my younger self advice on money, it's you definitely need to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but do it in a responsible way. Create a budget and stick to it as soon as possible. And don't adjust or change that budget based on how much more money you're making, and you'll end up with a surplus of money.
Exactly.
And so it's like, how can you get money that you work so hard for to eventually work for you, right? And I think that's how you build generational wealth, getting your money to work for you.
Exactly. As well, what I've noticed, sometimes it's you need this hard lesson to have, because, for example, like buy a car, right? Luxury car. It's like a lot of money, right? You have on the paper one number, right? For example, $200,000, right? You put like down payment, like half or something, and then you have like $100,000 in debt. And you think that you owe $100,000 within 5 years, you will pay normally. But what is hidden is interest rate. And you don't know what is interest rate till you fucking get this purchase, right?
Yeah.
And then you start paying and like, why my debt didn't go, my loan do not going down? You know, it's like almost staying all the time the same.
Yeah.
And then you figure out you're paying half just for interest. And this is like, oh, okay, this is how it works, you know? So next time you're thinking, okay, maybe should we invest in some maybe business ads, marketing, promotion and stuff like that. So I think hard lesson as well, it's good thing. So this is how you can learn fast as well. So, and as well, it's additional motivation because it's uncomfortable situation. So, but as well, you can't like act always like that. You need to be thoughtful with finances.
Yeah, 100%, you know, and if I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing because it was through those lessons that now the 25-year-old version of me that's getting ready to exponentially grow, I know to be more responsible, and I know the value of money and resources.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. So, what made you buy a house? It is a good investment.
Yeah, great question. So, you know, as you know, my wife and I, we lived in downtown LA. We had a $5,000 a month apartment right next to the crypto arena, and it was cool and everything. We were there for a year, but you know what we realized was there just was not really enough leverage on our end, right? Because we were paying that money at the end of each month, and it ended up just being more of a liability than an asset, right? So, my wife, she's originally from Texas, so you know, we decided, you know what, after this lease is up, we're gonna live in the South for a little bit. Be back and forth, you know, have a house in LA. We bought a house in Texas, and you know, even though I've been traveling for the past couple of weeks and my house is sitting empty, it's still appreciating because it's not a liability, it's an asset. So it really depends on your lifestyle. You know, I think there's some people that prefer renting, and renting a lower cost space, I think, is also financially reasonable. But for us, you know, buying a house was the right move, and you know, I think we made the right investment to start our real estate portfolio.
So awesome! I think it was a very smart move for your side, because especially now you can do your business remotely because you built amazing business team and processes, right? So now you can live wherever you want, and probably financially it's like very good decision.
Yeah, I'm paying less in my mortgage than I was paying in rent, right? And so it's nice because that money is actually going towards something. And obviously there's a concept of interest. And so one of my goals is to, you know, pay down the house and pay it off as soon as possible. But it's also nice having a house, man. You know, it's nice having a house. You know, I've lived in LA, lived in New York, but now being in a small town, it's very peaceful, and it's super cool for, you know, my wife and I to just be closer to her side of the family too.
That's so cool. I'm so proud of you, bro. You did like very amazing move in such an early age.
Thank you, bro.
So now you're building your assets portfolio. It's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool. So you're talking a lot about Nafisa. I really like see how you're in love with her. It's so amazing. And I want to, because now you can kind of see like both worlds, right? Many people like in young age, single, party, like hook up with different girls, right? But you choose the life that like you want to just settle and like be with one and work on it, you know. So tell me a little bit about what are the advantages of being married versus being single.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think, as I had mentioned, getting married young has been one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. Story of how I met my wife was I was on the pursuit of expanding my business to the South, to Texas, and I was doing an entire Texas tour. And so when I was in her city, the only person I knew was her brother. And so I hit him up. You know, we hit it off, got along together. I was there with a couple of my teammates at the time, and the next day I was going to leave. I was going to actually go to Dallas afterwards. And he asked, hey, can I invite my sister to this brunch before you leave? She's super cool. And I was like, yeah, sure. I wasn't trying to get out my friend's sister or anything. I felt shy. But immediately when I saw her, I was like, wow, she's so pretty. But she actually was working with the startup at the time. So I asked her, hey, is it cool if we exchange Instagrams and just for networking purposes? I want to ask you some questions about your experience working in a startup, because at the time I started hiring, some teammates and things like that. And before I knew it, a year later, we got married, and then we've been married a year and a half now. So greatest decision I've made, because when you have a significant other, when you have a partner that you can build with, the harshness of the world and reality just seems so less difficult to navigate, because you now have a partner by your side to navigate all the hardships of reality with you. And so in addition to that, having the right partner, having the right spouse can really be one of the biggest defining factors for your success, because they can offer you the stability and the focus to help you move the mountains that you couldn't before, right? Just like you mentioned, on my show about the importance of survival, right? You now not only have yourself to feed and take care of, but you have this partner that you also need to support, right? And likewise, they're also here now to support you. So I encourage everyone to get married as young as possible, if it's the right person. Right? A lot of people, they don't have that person, and they're dating and they're single, whatever it is, and that's totally fine too. But if you find the right one, go for it.
That's great. That's a big move.
Yeah, it's big. 23, married at 23. My wife was 22. She just graduated at Princeton University. Her parents thought she was crazy marrying this college dropout that claims to have a successful business, but we didn't let anything get in the way. We just went for it.
Wow, that's awesome. But now you're getting along with the family?
Yeah. Her family loves me, and they've accepted me, and my family obviously loves the visa. So
awesome. I'm really happy for you guys.
Yeah,
so great. So you're working on the business and etc. You're building content for other people, producing content and etc. But now I see that you start focusing a lot on a personal brand.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more why you're doing that, and why do you need a personal brand overall?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done thousands of shoots for thousands of clients, and I feel like all this time we didn't really establish what the brand's message was, right? Who is Beige? Who is the person behind Beige? And so I realized I really needed to start building my personal brand to share who I truly am and who Beige truly is. And so I started my Moguls podcast a couple months back, and just been filming ever since. I'm like a dozen episodes or so in, and yeah, man. My biggest thing with the content is to build a community and build an ecosystem, right? If there was anything that I can share from my own experiences to anyone watching that adds value, I feel that I've reached my purpose with the content. So just about adding value and building the ecosystem more than anything else, and it's also this is the message that I have to share, and I'm sure people can relate to the same message. There might be someone out there that needed to hear what we're talking about today, right? So it's kind of how do we impact others? And I think content is one of the best ways.
Awesome. So great. And I know that you're working on switching to another topic. So I know that you're working and building the app.
Yeah.
It's your startup, it's your baby. Tell me a little bit about that. How is it going?
Yeah, so I started off this production agency, right, at Beige, originally Beige Cashmere, now Beige Corporation. And, we started out this production company with the goal of helping others produce content, right, and connecting them with videographers and photographers. Started off in LA. During the pandemic, I expanded out to Chicago and New York. When everything in LA shut down, I rented out different spaces similar to this one. And I just invited videographers and photographers from around the city. And I told them, hey, I'm from LA. This is my vision. I want to build an Uber for content. I can get you guys jobs. There's no strings involved. Are you down to help me out and, be available for these shoots? And most of them said, yeah, sure, we'll help out. And so throughout the process, I've really defined the vision for the Beige app. So the Beige app is an on-demand videography and photography marketplace where users, whether they're businesses, wedding couples, individuals, can book a shoot with local videographers and photographers. So we are just the marketplace connecting videographers and photographers from every city in the United States with anyone and everyone that needs content. They can even be other production companies that are looking to source more videographers or photographers, or vice versa. Maybe production companies also want to sign up and get more projects, right? So Beige really wants to become the Uber for videography and photography. And our mission is to build the world's largest videography and photography marketplace.
That's so awesome. So, especially now it's on demand. So people need some tools and support with that for sure, and some guidance. It's awesome. So how do you stand out from other agencies?
So we're in an interesting place right now where, we've done the agency route, and, we've scaled up to a lot of different clients, but we're transitioning from being a production agency to now being a media tech marketplace, right? So our biggest differentiator is our technology that we've built, right? So we've been building proprietary matchmaking algorithms, pricing algorithms, different content management softwares to really centralize the process of booking a video or photo shoot and delivering that content, right? And so I think that's our biggest differentiator. We will be providing the technology to book a shoot and to receive content in real time. And, our competitors are really our partners. We want every production company to be on this platform to be able to really create a more democratized content industry. Obviously we don't focus on a handful of niches. It's kind of more of an open market, but the goal is to have Beige really be a place more than a product, where the most creative minds can go to offer their services and be connected with those that need it the most.
That's so cool. And nowadays, as we know, there's so many different creative people trying to produce content and deliver service and etc. So now I believe in order to stand out from others, right, among others, then you need to have some sort of innovation, right? Because there's on the market so many tools that available for people, right? So now you have to think how you can stand out, right? So in order to stand out, you need some sort of innovation built by yourself, right? And then offer to the market as a tool as well. So I don't think we in competing world between agencies, we in competing world in how can you support the industry? Basically, we're not even competition. We're basically giving, let's find a way how we can give more tools to the industry to support each other, because there's so much demand, so much media has to be produced daily. It's crazy a lot, so and it's impossible to have it done just for one agency or something, right? There is a market for this, but in market need tools and guidance and directions and innovations and stuff like that. So I believe it's we live in an interesting world now, so we can support,
absolutely. Yeah, I would argue there is no such thing as competition. It's all about collaboration, right? Because why does it need to be a win-lose? Why do I need to win and you need to lose when we can both win and find symbiotic ways to partner up and support each other, right? And I feel like the more collaborative we are today, the more successful we'll be tomorrow.
Exactly. And I think we can call it as people from the industry as our kind of inspiration, so we can learn from them and get better product for ourselves, for our thing, right? So and build something that unique for this market, right? So it's important. So why it's important to hire an agency instead of working straight with videographers and other freelancers?
I definitely believe that with an agency, you'll receive a dedicated team, right? I think that's the biggest value add. With an agency, you're able to leverage the knowledge base of not just one creative, but you now have the knowledge base of everyone that's involved with that project. Obviously, there's good content creators, there's bad content creators. There's good agencies, there's bad agencies. But I truly believe that agencies exist to aggregate the best talent and deliver that value to the end consumer. And that talent is a net new product than what one individual can offer. And so I think it's great that agencies exist and the solution that agencies are offering.
It's great. Who you can recommend to follow, like as a people, as a source of information, or maybe somebody who is like knowledgeable in like entrepreneurship or maybe media or content creation, who can you recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously there's the big ones, right? There's a Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi, but there's also different niche creatives, I think, within different industries. For general mindset and discipline, motivation, I follow David Goggins. He's definitely one of the big ones. He's awesome. Also really look up to people like Elon Musk, who are able to go against the grain and defy all odds and really innovate across multiple industries. Here's some couple other ones. I would say definitely Tony Zhu is a big mentor of mine. He's the founder and CEO of DoorDash, and we've had several great conversations about Beige and how DoorDash has been able to innovate. So yeah, I think those are just a few people.
Awesome, that's so great. I would like to move on towards end part of our show. So where people can find you on social media or on the internet?
Yeah, absolutely. CEO Kawser on Instagram, YouTube, all platforms.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for joining me today. So guys, this is Kawser. So he is an amazing human being. You need to follow him on social media 100%. You will learn a lot from him. Young age success. So, and this is like real and true inspiration right here. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope we will have more conversation like this and share even more success. So we have so much time, and like we will have so much fun together as well. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks for having me. First of many.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.